Hey everybody. You know, yes, you've seen this correctly on this particular title. Um, as you already know, that R. Kelly, the R&B singer, the Pied Piper himself, has been found guilty of racketeering and stuff with minors. It's kind of obvious when when coming forward to the forefront and knowing. Oh, well, R. Kelly was not the first. This is not the first time that R. Kelly has been tried and brought to court. But this is a shocking twist because the reason why, because the first time, R. Kelly got acquitted of stuff with minors on film, and you know that's already been in itself. Do your research, which I'm about to explain a little step by step kind of thing about the whole case and the whole thing surrounding R. Kelly for decades since the early '90s, since he got involved with Aaliyah, which is another popular artist of the time, and quite frankly, it is one of the most saddest thing is that the reason why it's the saddest thing is that not a lot of people know that at the time, R. Kelly, if some of you know about R. Kelly, some of you know about the whole Aaliyah story. If you have not, welcome to planet Earth. Anyhow, um, basically, every time I talk about it, it makes my stomach cringe because it, it's it is very it is something that it's something that it's something that's not really easy to talk about, especially when you are a certain survivor of certain attack or abuse. Um, it's really hard to digest, but it's really hard. Now, the reason why, yeah, and yes, yes, it's very hard and difficult to talk about things. Now, on to the main. If I'm gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna go step by step back to where. No, that I see you. Um, but now I'm gonna try to go step by step about this. So I'm gonna go back to 1994 about the certain moment in history involving R. Kelly and Aaliyah. At the time, R. Kelly was 27 and Aaliyah was 15 when the marriage happened. Which is they got married at a secret ceremony in Chicago, Illinois, which was later found out in this case, the 2021 case of racketeering and stuff with minors. And which it was brought up by someone had bribed a government official, which that is very, very insane. Not only that, it makes me cringe every time I hear stuff like that. It makes me cringe. It makes me really, really offended. It makes me angry. And I think we all, whoever, everyone that has been a certain victim of a certain cause, but more about that later. Now I want to get back to it. Which the first news media had discovered this was Vibe magazine, which it was discovered that that Aaliyah had lied about her age on the wedding certificate, listing herself as 18 years old. The marriage was annulled in February 1995. A younger tour manager for Kelly testified at his trial that he bribed a government worker in 1994 to obtain a fake ID for Aaliyah so the singers could marry. For the rest of her career, Aaliyah dogged questions about the nature of her relationship up to the point she died in 2001. I'm not going to the very specifics. If you want to know, go to the CNN or the LA Times or whatever who is covering this right now as well. But that wasn't the end. That wasn't the end. So in 1996, R. Kelly was sued for emotional distress by his very first victim, Tiffany Hawkins, who sued Kells for the personal injury and emotional distress she suffered during a 3-year relationship with the star. In court documents, she said she began having a quote unquote, and I'm going to try to censor this here, a some type of relationship with the star. A court document, yeah, which with Kelly, obviously. And Tiffany Hawkins, who was the first victim, was 15, and Kelly was 24, and the relationship ended when she turned 18. See, I'm gonna have to stop this right there because I think I've seen a pattern of a sexual predator, of how he grooms his victims, and they pick a certain groups of people, either pure business children or full-fledged teenagers or teenage girls, which I don't understand why they do that, but I think that it's really a thing. So I'm going to take a pause before I resume. I'm going to read some of the things that comments right now. My boy Akim Blackson says, how people still listening to R. Kelly with all this, but then they want to take Michael Jackson down, who was found innocent and on all trials. Well, Akim, I will get to that eventually after I finish covering this story. So, resuming. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Ms. Hawkins sought $10 million in damages, but accepted a fraction of that amount, which is $250,000, when the case was settled in 1998. Kelly's spokeswoman said she had no knowledge of the accusations. What does that tell you? Anyway, in 2001, R. Kelly was sued by an intern by the name of Tracy Sampson, who sued him, accusing him of introducing her into an indecent sexual relationship when she was 17 years old. Ooh. Which I never heard this. This is the first time I think I'm hearing this correctly now, or even saying this correctly, which is so very vile. And the list keeps going on. I could have sworn this is a Harvey Weinstein episode, which is no brainer. Anyways, back to the transcripts. The woman, a former intern at Epic Records, says she was treated as his personal sex object, Paul's, and cast aside. He often tried to control every aspect of her life, who she would see and where could she go. Which this is according to Tracy Sampson. The case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum, according to the New York Post. Between April and May of 2002, two more court cases, which is brought against Mr. Kelly by Patrice Jones, a Chicago woman who claimed he impregnated her when she was underage and that she was forced to have an abortion. Which God help them. God help these victims. Covering stuff like this is not easy. And this is the first time I'm actually covering this live. And this is insanity. And this is just I cannot describe what I don't understand how they are feeling about the whole ordeal, because I've never been in their shoes, and it gets sadder by the moment. It does. Now, going back to where I was saying, Montana Woods, who also sued Mr. Kelly, alleging that he videotaped them having a little fun. I'm not saying the other word because I don't want to get a little copy strike from for obvious reasons. I cannot. and that he actually videotaped them having fun without her knowledge. The recording was allegedly circulated on a quote-unquote fun tape sold by bootleggers under the title R.Kelly XXX. Take a pause. How you cannot describe how sus this is. Of course it's sus. Of course, because this is of course, it is sus, because this is getting crazier by the moment. And this is one of the most dangerous things that people are doing. They are using their fame. There are actual predators in disguise of famous people and trying to make promises that they cannot fulfill, but turn out to be the quite opposite, and it'll get you hurt. It will put you in the places where you don't feel comfortable and make you feel like crap. Anyways, back to our original programming. The stars settled both cases out of court, paying undisclosed sums in return for non-disclosure agreements. This is hella suspicious on this. This is hella suspicious. It really is. Because the thing is that why are you paying these victims to keep silent about if you're innocent? And I know that some people are going to say, well, Michael Jackson settled for a family for about this much. That's a whole different story for a whole nother video. Okay? Now we're talking about Robert Kelly, the Predator, the man behind the music, not Michael Jackson. Which, in the next season, I might talk about the case of 1993. But till then, this is the R. Kelly story. For now. June 2002. Charged over child abuse videos. The star is charged with 21 counts of making child sexual abuse videos involving various acts of misconduct. Chicago police accused him of taping the acts and inciting a minor to participate in them. All charges related to one girl, born in 1984. His arrest stemmed from a video that was sent anonymously to the Chicago Sun-Times earlier in the year. They pressed it on to police who verified its authenticity of the video. Which, okay, this is where I wanted to get into. This is one of the things that I want to get into in this case involving Mr. Kelly. Is this. One, if somebody can make good music, can make a good short film, can make anything, and make millions of dollars, are you stupid enough to videotape them? And let alone that that's eventually somebody will caught wind of this tape by taking your tape and taking it to the higher authorities, which is stupid of you. If okay, I'm gonna have to stop this right there for a second. This is crazy. What? Come on, dude. I mean, I hate to pass judgment on somebody, but if you do something to involving a minor, you will be judged. I'm sorry. A man who is not worthy of that name. That's true. That's true, Ram. That is very true, Ram. Anyway. I'm going back. Yeah, like I said, who verified its authenticity with the help of the FBI and forensics experts. Kelly, who posted $750,000 in bail, immediately denied all charges with an interview with NTV and later pleaded not guilty in court. It took 6 years for the case to come to trial, during which R. Kelly released his wildly successful Trapped in the Closet album. That album, okay, even though we're not talking about R. Kelly, although I haven't spoke about R. Kelly in the sense of an artist, I'm just gonna have to put it out there. That's sus. That is very sus. Which the album was nominated for an Image Award by the NAACP, prompting widespread criticism. The jury eventually concluded that they could not prove the girl in the tape was a minor. And Kelly, and somehow these juries back in 2008, even though that I think they were just trying to go home. That's why they played it not guilty. Like, One, I want to sit here looking at this R&B star involving children. I think they just want to go home. That's what they're saying. And how stupid are you to let this man run loose like he's a loose cannon? I mean, I don't want to, again, like I said earlier, I don't want to seek past judgment on anyone, but given the fact that there was clearly, if there's a tape and it says that R. Kelly's in the tape and there was a child in that tape and they're doing in the tape that they shouldn't be doing, what is wrong with people? I think here's the thing that I wanted to discuss with you all viewers at home or anywhere in the world you're doing right now. It's the fact that we look at people as if they're really above everyone. Like we would never do anything like that. Oh, he wouldn't do that. Oh, that child must be a gold digger. That is, her and her family are saying this and that. They must be out there cray cray. Which is wrong. How in the world can you look at yourself after letting that man go and being where we at now? It's just we're messed up in itself. So I think this is where this happened 20 years ago. So back to our original programming, which is 2002 to 2004. Arrest prompts further charges. They kept piling on, which the list goes on. Which brings back to almost 5 years ago. Which is 5 years ago about this particular moment. But first, I want to take a pause. You know, get all that negative energy, get all of it out. Whew. Brush that to a side. And now I'm going to read one in the comments before we continue. My boy Ram the Man says, we want to put them on a pedestal, forgetting that celebrities are just regular people with regular skin just like us. Only difference is they got a bunch of money. Ram, me and you agree. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Simple of the fact that just like I said, just like he said, just like I said earlier, and just like he said earlier, is that we wanted to put there are certain artists that or movie actors or directors or behind the scenes of it. We want to be the big guys. We want to be the big guys, but at a terrible cost, which is price of fame. Which is a price of fame, which in itself is really disturbing. Now, we're back to our original research. 2016, pause. 2017, allegations of a cult? A long and detailed BuzzFeed report accused R. Kelly of trapping 6 women in a quote-unquote cult. The article alleges that Kelly seduced young women when they approached him for help with their music career before taking control of their lives, detecting what they eat, how they dress, when they bathe, when they sleep, and how they engage in fun encounters that He records. What? This man, this man, this man, this man's gonna get the help he needs. God, heal this man before I smacked him down. The star all that's not all. The star also confiscates the women's mobile phones, cell phones. The report says that barring contact with friends and family. The allegation came from the 3 former employees and parents of several women who said their daughter had all but vanished. Between 2017 and 18, victims approaches the press. BuzzFeed's report prompted further allegation to Rhonda Pace, who testified, who recently said justice has been served, and her voice has been heard. When she broke a non-disclosure agreement to speak about having fun with Kelly while she was underage with another woman by the name of Katie Jones, who later testified in Kelly's trial in 2021. She claimed that the star starved her, coerced her into a fun intercourse with another woman, and physically abused her. Ms. Pace will go on to testify, just like I said, against Kelly in the 2021 trial. Ms. King, along with other members of R. Kelly's inner circle, also spoke to an ABC 3 documentary in March 2018. One former friend and collaborator, Lovell Jones, said Kelly asked him to scout out women that looked young at parties. And claimed that it was common knowledge that the singer preferred younger women. I'll go ahead and skip to where we at now. Last year on March 2020, trial delayed. Why? Well, let me tell you this. Kelly's Chicago trial was delayed by 6 months after prosecutors seized more than 100 electric devices, including smartphones, iPads, and hard drives, from a storage facility holding the star's tour equipment. Prosecutors also updated the charges against the star to add yet another victim on their list. The new victim, referred to as Minor 6, met Kelly in the late 1990s at the age of 14 or 15, which we all know that Kells pleaded not guilty to all these charges. Not last month, but August of 2020, there were a quote-unquote witness tampering which is 3 of Kelly's associates were charged with attempting to intimidate, harass, or pay off alleged victims in the racketeering case. Prosecutors said one victim was offered $500,000 to buy her silence, although no money was ultimately exchanged. Another was threatened with the release of sexual explicit photo of a third. Woke up to find her car been set alight in her driveway. Whoa. The charges filed in New York did not indicate whether Kelly authorized the actions, and the star's lawyer denied any involvement. From August to September of 2020, which is last year, which is last year. Towards the end of August, Kelly was attacked in his sleep by a fellow inmate in Chicago's Metropolitan Correctional Center. The star's lawyer called for his immediate release, saying that the government cannot ensure his safety. However, the request, along with the numerous other attempts to get Kelly released on bail, was denied. June of 2021, which was maybe almost 4 months ago. Oh wow, time does go fly. Time go by fast. 2 months before his trial was due to begin, Kelly's long-term lawyers were asked to withdraw from the case. Steve Greenberg and Michael Leonard said it was impossible to work alongside a pair of new lawyers the star had hired. Last month of this year, which is last month, Aaliyah's relationship was confirmed. In the last pre-trial hearing before Kelly's trial, U.S. District Judge Ann M. Doley made a series of rulings to narrow down what evidence could be shown to jurors. During the hearing, she asked one of the singer's lawyers whether they denied the star had sexual relations with Aaliyah while she was underage. According to the Associated Press, Thomas A. Farinella let out a deep sigh and a response of no. Okay, that's a red flag. That is definitely a red flag. They're using a tactic of he said, she said kind of thing, and we all know that went. Between the last month and this month of this year, trial and the verdict has read. The trial began on August 18th in New York, and on September 27th, following 2 days of deliberation, the jury found the star guilty of all 9 counts, sentencing it, which he is finally guilty of something involving inappropriate manner with minors, which is transporting them to another city against their will and racketeering charges. Which at this time R. Kelly is 54 years old, could end up spending the rest of his life behind bars. And his sentencing is due on May 4th, which is next year, which I will be following the case again when it comes to it. Gloria Allred, a lawyer who represented several victims, told reporters, I've been practicing law for 47 years. During this time, I have pursued many sexual predators who have committed crimes against women and children. All of the predators I have pursued, Mr. Kelly is the worst. Wow. And Gloria Allred, remember, Gloria Allred is the one person. She also had a little much of a fiasco with Michael Jackson. Okay, this is where we get to where I was talking about. Okay, like I said, here's the difference between, because I know that there's so many, that there was a little photo collage of who's innocent or guilty. Somehow, some way, Michael was in the middle of it. And I thought that was just baloney. I don't know. Well, before I finish some more, my boy Ram says, yeah, I wonder when they're going to sentence him. He probably going to be going to jail for 20 years. Or maybe that. That may be true, but I don't know. We have to wait until May 4th of 2022. Now back to what I was saying. Like I was saying before, Michael Jackson and R. Kelly are two different people. And Michael Jackson was found innocent. And the FBI files confirmed that, which they don't have any proof that Michael Jackson ever molested children or did a lot of freaky stuff. But we got R. Kelly and people like Roman Polanski, Harvey Weinstein. Hey, that's a good rhyme, huh? Pause. Anyway, we had so many white people. Now, not to sound disrespectful, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That right there smells like problem, because Hollywood is, what they don't tell you, is infested with parasites, pedophilia, and a whole lot of more dangers that we don't even know about. And I gotta say, but at the end of the day, this is about the victims and their families. In this case of Robert Kelly versus the world, as I put it. Although there are a lot of support, he has still somewhat of a lot of supporters, but it didn't persuade the jury of this case this time. They might got away with it in 2008, but not in 2021. Even though that we're in this time where culture vulture or cancel culture, I corrected that now. Cancel culture is a thing, but at the same token, we're not really sure what's true. Like, for example, let me rephrase it. We don't know what's fact or fiction. We don't know. We don't know because we weren't there. But only God, Robert Kelly, and all those little girls and women that were a victim of his. And I gotta say, for one, that I know what it's like to be in that position, because I've been a victim. Now I'm a survivor, and I do a lot of things to cope with it. Ram, stop. You know, but also, let's not forget, Kells has children too, and his children won't get the brunt of people and other kids pick on them because of what their dad did to other little girls. And I hate to be in their position. I can't give them any advice of how to do it. How can they avoid? How can I, avoid, or how can you avoid all this? Well, all I can say to you, Kelly, Robert Sylvester Kelly, you have used your fame, used your wealth, and used your impactment that you could have done to the world in a positive light, inspire people to continue writing their music. But instead, you chose to use that to build a criminal empire, to lure little girls into your little devious demonizing, criminalizing schemes that you have done, you know. And that's all I can say to you, Robert. You don't even deserve to be called R. Kelly. You deserve to be called Robert. Because even though that his music also inspired me, I would never listen to his music again. Every time I hear, I used to think that I cannot go on, I'm like, now thinking about it, I'm thinking, go on with what? Go on with what, damn it? Ew! You nasty ass with it. You need some fucking help, dude. Especially what you did to Aaliyah. You know, I really, I ain't gonna say hate because hate is a strong word, but I dislike the fact that if you haven't if you had not met Aaliyah and never knew her, I think that we would still have her. I, so that's all. Even though I'm not a huge Aaliyah fan, but no female, no matter what position you are, either you're a famous music star or just a regular female, nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. Not even guys. All I can say, but there is a silver lining. We can separate the artist. We can separate the artist from the music. But I refuse to listen to another R. Kelly song again, because and I probably won't ever watch the first Space Jam movie with that song, because knowing what I know now and based from what we know now, it's sickening. Now, before we end this episode with a pause, before we end this episode, I wanted to read. I'm gonna read this couple of comments. My boy Akim Blackson says, "I heard somewhere Michael wanted to write songs with Aaliyah." I don't know. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. I'm gonna read another one from you, and then I'm gonna go on to the last comment, and then after that, I'm gonna do the usual ending of the show. He believed he could fly and ended up flying in jail. I think that's a bad timing to say that joke. I think that's a bad timing to say that joke. Yeah, I probably won't listen to his music ever again either, but I can't say I won't watch this first Space Jam because I love that movie. Okay, do you, man? Do you? You know, we all love Space Jam. Uh, you know, we all love it, especially with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. Yeah, that's cool. But with R. Kelly's a song of R. Kelly, I just have to either turn it off or mute it because of what we know now. Well, if somebody who is a victim of R. Kelly, you know, or whoever watches this, you have our support. Especially, you have my support. Yes, if you have. And you have my prayers and support in your darkest hour. And I wish that we could have helped. But I don't think we can. All we can do is just, hope for the best. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for joining in. This is another long episode, which I normally do, but I have to cover this. I have to cover this, and I might bring a special guest on the next season. Which, yes, this is the last episode for the season 2 of the Paul Altman Show. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and please share this with your friends or family, or maybe even your coworker, or maybe you're a therapist who knows about certain things like this. Okay? And remember, let love, LOVE, lead the way.